Hi, my name is Rick. It is the same day as the last video I made. Wait, it is the same day as the day that I made the last video. There we go, okay. A little trouble with my grammar. So many thoughts buzzing around in my head. Probably be better if they just weren't even there. Okay, so another controversial subject, starting with a question. Make myself more centered here. Okay. If you've ever read the Bible all the way through, like completely from start to finish, which would be all the books. I don't know how many books there are. I don't know which books there are. I know some of them. I read Genesis. I said that in another video. And I also read part of Revelations. Very creepy. But one thing I really I have not noticed. No, wait. Wrong way. One thing I have noticed is, and I bet I'm right about this, there is no mention, and if there is, there's not a very strong mentioning of it, about fairies. And I know that there's a slang version of that word, fairy, which means gay people to a lot of people, but it's not what I'm referring to. I don't even think that's a good label to put someone on. I don't think any label's good, but okay, so why aren't there fairies in the Bible? There's angels, there's demons, there's people, and there's God. Which is pretty much all of that anyway. Okay. They're all equal. Okay. So I'm wearing this shirt. There's a reason for it. Let's see, it's a rainbow colored shirt. So let's see. I mentioned the fairy thing because a lot of things in my life have happened. I would say miracles, dead up miracles, just big time miracles. I'm going to actually talk about them. I'm going to give you examples. Of course, I can never prove it. You either take my word for it, call me insane, say I'm stupid, maybe I'm lying, or I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, your opinions, and here's mine. Except this is more instead of an opinion, it's more of a story or stories about my life in certain parts. Probably the most interesting of my life. Yep. So I believe two things here. One, that how do I say this? I'm zoning out. I can't do that. I'm not from this world originally, and on top of that, this is my first incarnation, and that's most likely true because I have a lot of evidence backing that up for myself that I'm going to tell you through stories. Make sense? Okay. And then on top of that, if I am a fairy, or let's say was a fairy, or am a fairy in a human body, I mean, ultimately we're all the same thing. We're God. So I mean, these are all just kind of like just expressions, different ways of experiencing. So the fairy world would be like another world where you learn other things. Or maybe it's just a place to chill out. Maybe it's just another heaven, you know? Maybe there's more than one heaven. Do you ever think about that? Okay. I'm not usually I'm not usually appearing to look at you when I'm making these videos because I'm looking at the screen because I have it on face flip, so I can like see myself talking, kind of observe myself. Something to observe. It's kind of to keep me occupied, I guess. Otherwise I might get bored. Okay. Otherwise I'd look directly at the camera and then it would look more like I'm looking at you. Okay, so if I'm a fairy, whatever, I'll just say, if I'm a fairy, wouldn't that mean I'm a rainbow child? I mean, I remember one of the traits of a rainbow child from Dorian Virtue, or maybe from other people that talk about rainbow children and all the other type of children, that they don't, the rainbow children don't have karma, and so they don't have to deal with that stuff when they get here. Yeah, I'd pretty much agree with that. I used to not, but ever since this experience I'm about to tell you, things have changed drastically. Okay. so crap, not that again. Um, oh yeah, karma. So I don't think I have karma per se. I mean, I probably have karma now, but when I was first born, I didn't. When I say now for karma, I mean like interacting with people. I may pick up on their karma, from making choices that they connive me or kind of trick me into doing what they might not even realize they were tricking me. Like going to elementary school for the first time and then being really hyperactive because that's just how I was back then. Still am. And the students loved me. The other kids loved me. They were like, "Oh my gosh, he's so interesting." And I think I'm remembering this correctly. It makes sense. I mean, hyperactivity is very hypnotic. It's kind of attractive to a lot of people because they're like, "Wow, he has a lot of energy. Let's go talk to him. He probably has a lot to say." Well, I do, but I mean, whatever. So the teachers didn't like it. They got mad at me. Yeah, I think they probably did. I don't think they ever said it, but they talked to my parents and convinced them to put me on medication, which they agreed to. Not really even because of the teacher. I think they were getting tired of it too. They were getting tired of me being myself. Oh well. Anyway, so they put me on this medication, and it was a type of Ritalin. It's called Concerta. I think that's right. And what it would do, it's not what they were expecting. Of course, any kind of medication is going to F with you in some way. But it caused me to be Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I would be like really nice and the way the teachers wanted me to be in school. And I think maybe the kids might have said, "What happened to you?" or something, and I couldn't answer them. I had no idea. I don't know what about medication at that point. I'm too young. And then when I come home, I would be like a complete devil to my parents. Like I would be negative. I would be throwing temper tantrums. I would be very wild in a bad way. Not myself in either instance. Not fully anyway. At least for the positive one. No, I do not appreciate being put on medication, and yes, I'm still on it. So I guess it's probably a lesson, It's like I was having to be put through that, like for most of my life, be on medication to better understand things. I mean, think about it. If you didn't go through certain choices and you chose something completely different depending on what you chose, your life would be completely different at this point. You may be in a completely different country for all you know, for what kind of choices you've made. Kind of goes into parallel universes and alternate realities. What else? Okay, so how about we talk about a story? The first one I can remember, probably the first memory I've ever remember as a baby, was I was in my crib, like a baby crib, and I started to hear this pulsating noise coming from inside my ears and maybe outside of it. It felt like a dream, and I think I actually did think like regular words without saying them, like in my baby mind. And I kind of remember this. It's like, "Oh, this is scary," or something like that. And it was really creepy. It was like this. It was kind of like this a description of static mixed with pulsation. So it was like that, and it was more than that though. I've heard it in dreams before, but this wasn't a dream. This was me being awake in my crib, and I turn, I think, to my right, and there's this being of whitish yellow light, and it's extremely bright, but it doesn't hurt my eyes. It was like almost as bright as what the sun would look like if you looked at it. But I mean, when you look at the sun, it hurts, but this didn't hurt. Also, the light was going around the room, kind of like not around the room, like maybe a foot off the body of this being. So it was kind of like it was glowing and it was intense. And I believe the being smiled at me like very very calmly, like No, I don't think you can see me smile. Let me try this better. Like maybe as if to say you were going to do great things, Rick, but I wouldn't have understood. Anyway, what could that have been? Okay, several things it could have been. One, a hallucination. Yeah. Okay, you're talking. No, wait. You're listening to an open-minded person here. I consider myself to be very, very open-minded, so that automatically gets checked off as not going to happen. Not happening. Yeah. Okay. Then the other option is it was an angel. Okay, great, but still not what I would choose because my my favorite. I guess I would have to say favorite. I probably shouldn't have a favorite, but I do. I value fairies more than angels. I just do. It's because I relate to them more. That's probably why. And um, and plus, angels don't really show their faces to me. I mean, I guess they could. I don't think they really have a reason to. Not because I'm bad or anything. I'm not bad. I try to do really good things. I've been trying to do really good things in my life. But so it could have been a fairy, an angel. Oh, sure, it could have even been a demon pretending to be an angel. But no, I think it was a fairy. Yeah. Because I think that's where I come from. I mean, but if you look at it even a bigger scale, then our lives go off into infinity in both directions. So I could have been on an infinite amount of worlds before the fairy world. I don't know the actual name for the fairy world. They say it's fairy, but that's kind of redundant. I mean, it's kind of weird, don't you think? That if like so many people are into fairies, and even if they're not, I mean, it's like religions completely cut out different things and don't even mention stuff. Fairies, for example. If they do, I haven't seen it. I mean, yeah, I didn't read the whole Bible, but you see, I hear a lot of people talk about the Bible all the time that say they have read it. So just kind of figuring from that, it doesn't seem like fairies are even mentioned in the Bible. Maybe it's implied, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like fairy, demons, people, God. That's it. I mean, sorry, angels, demons, people, and God. Okay. What else? Okay, so the next story. Let's see. I'll go with the initiation. So, I was with my friends. Can't find a comfortable spot. My back's starting to hurt. Darn it. Okay. I was with my friends. They are no longer my friends. I'm just telling you. I just don't want you to think that I'm still friends with them. It's kind of weird. Their names were Alex and Sean. And we were doing a bunch of things that day, like smoking hookah and stuff. And one thing I want you to know is, yes, I do smoke, but I don't smoke everything. I smoke hookah, and I don't even like the hookah. You know, I used to, but now I only smoke the hookah. This is kind of bad, but I smoke the hookah because I want to be around people. I don't even care about the hookah. If I could be around people that are different and talking with each other and conversing and stuff without smoking the hookah, I would do that. But, I mean, the places where I live don't really have that kind of luxury. Like, I mean, Starbucks, for example. If I went to Starbucks or a coffee shop, yeah, there's talking involved, but usually you brought someone with you. It's not like you just come up to someone who's sitting down and say, hey, you want to talk? That would come off as odd, and also they'd probably get up and leave, or maybe bad talk you or something. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like people accept people unless they know them first. I guess I kind of do that too, but I give people more of a chance. They could even tell me things that I may not even believe in at that moment, but I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt because I want them to give me the I want to give them the opportunity to either prove me wrong that they were telling of what they were saying, or I just add it to my belief system, which isn't really a system. It's just beliefs. I want to try to stay away from labels as much as I can. Some labels